Good morning, everybody. The time is 10:11. I'll call the May 29, 2025 Planning Board meeting to order. We are joined by Vice Chair Bailey.
Good morning.
Commissioner Washington.
Good morning.
Commissioner Giraldo is joining us virtually and is on mute.
Good morning.
There we go. And I'm Chair Shapiro. Just to note for the folks in the audience that the deadline for all participant pre-registration and for all submission of materials and exhibits was 12 noon on Tuesday before this planning board meeting. And staff is available in the room and online to help with any questions or concerns that you have. We're going to take that.
I think that's me.
Hold on. You got it? You're good? Okay. We're going to follow the agenda, the order of the cases as listed on the agenda. Madam Administrator, any preliminary matters?
There are none.
Okay, thank you. Do have a few things to announce. The first one is something quite sad. This is somebody who a number of you may know. Dr. Fern Perrett, former planning director, and a number of roles in the county. Dr. Perrett passed away last week. Many of us across the agency and the county and the region had a chance to know her and work with her. She had a 40-plus year legacy within the county, including 27 years as the planning director. She's held multiple leadership roles. She began her career as support to the then County Council Chair and later County Executive Paris Glendenning. She served in the office of the County Executive. She was liaison to municipalities. She was senior advisor for economic development and transportation. And then in 1989, she was appointed to be the planning director. She worked on hundreds of studies, major land use plans initiatives, including kicking off Plan Prince George's 2025. The approved general plan, the expansion of the Metro Rail Green Line, the Purple Line trajectory, the National Harbor waterfront development. She had just an impressive impact on the county. We extend our condolences to her family, loved ones, and the many, many colleagues who worked with her throughout the county and throughout the region. And if we could take a brief moment of silence to remember Dr. Fern Perrett. Thank you, everybody. On a cheerier note, we have some folks in the room that I want to recognize as well. This week, the Planning Department and the Planning Board Office is welcoming a whole bunch of new members to our team. The Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission Collegiate Internship Program has nearly doubled in size. We've typically had around 10 interns over the course of the summer, but we're proud to have 20 undergraduate and graduate students. Kudos to Director Hull. I'm not sure if Director Hull is here. Nope. And Deputy Director Hunt and many members of the department who helped make this happen. We're going to meet them a little bit later this summer and learn more about their projects. But are any of them in the room right here, right now? Yeah? Raise your hands. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're looking forward to working with you. And again, we'll have a bit more formal interaction a bit down the road. So with that, we'll move on to the agenda. We have the first item that we'll take up is item with action is item 2. I look for a motion to approve the draft minutes for the planning board meeting May 22nd.
Motion to approve draft minutes. Second.
Got a motion by Vice Chair Bailey, a second by Commissioner Washington. With no discussion, I'll call the roll. Vice Chair Bailey.
But aye.
Commissioner Washington.
I put aye.
Commissioner Giraldo. You're on mute. You can give us a thumbs up if you want.
Okay.
There we go.
I vote aye.
There we go. I vote aye as well. Ayes have it 4-0. Next, we'll move on to our consent agenda items. Look for a motion from my colleagues.
After consideration of the records for items numbers 4A, 4C, and 4D, I move adoption of the staff findings and approval of the items on the consent agenda in accordance with the recommendation of the staff.
I will second with the minor amendment to exclude items 4A and 4C and only include items 4D.
Oh, okay.
We've got a motion by Vice Chair Bailey, second by Commissioner Washington. There was a friendly amendment to that, which was okay with the maker of the motion and the seconder. With no discussion, I will call the roll. Vice Chair Bailey.
But aye.
Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Geraldo.
Vote aye.
I vote aye as well. The ayes have it 4-0. We'll now move on to our regular agenda items. Start with item 5, preliminary plan of subdivision 4-24037, Maryland 95 Corporate Park. This is an evidentiary hearing. Mr. Antonetti is going to be representing the applicant. Representing the staff is Kendra Tashome. And I want to turn to Ms. Connor to do a more formal introduction than that and make sure I get your name right too. Ms. Connor.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to introduce Ms. Tashoma. She comes to us in the zoning section, although she's presenting a subdivision case this morning. She's actually a Planner 3 in our zoning section, and she's been a fabulous addition, and we're so excited to have her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome
you so
aboard.
much. Thank you.
With that, I'll turn it to the staff presentation. Ms. Tashoma, is that right?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. So good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of.
You got to turn your mic on. Just press and hold that for about 2-3 seconds till it turns green. There you go.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Planning Board. Item number 5 is preliminary plan of subdivision 4-24037 for Maryland 95 Corporate Park, which proposes the subdivision of one parcel into 2 parcels for 142,863 square feet of institutional and commercial uses. The 9.15 acre site is currently developed with a 128,113 square foot office building, and the application will allow an additional 14,750 square feet of institutional, educational, and commercial development. This application is further subject to an approved certificate of adequacy under case number ADQ 2024071. Staff recommend that the Planning Board adopt the findings in the technical staff report and approve preliminary plan of subdivision 4-24037 and type 1 tree conservation plan TCP1 006-2025, subject to the recommended conditions of approval within the technical staff report. This concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tashoma. Colleagues, any questions for staff?
Yeah.
It's her first time. Do you want to pepper her? Yeah.
That's full on haze.
Thank you very much. We'll turn to the applicant, Mr. Antonetti. We've got a number of folks who are on our speakers list, but they're all with the applicant's team, I believe. We don't have anyone in opposition? No? Okay. Mr. Antonetti.
Good morning, Chair Shapiro, members of the Planning Board. For the record, Robert Antonetti of the law firm of Shipley & Horn. It's a pleasure to be here today with you. With me today is Mr. Andrew Shelley and my partner Arthur Horn, also with Shipley & Horn. And together we're pleased to represent the applicant for this preliminary plan of subdivision. I'd like to thank Ms. Tashoma for her presentation. Her presentation, her thoroughness in the staff report, and her communication with the applicant is excellent. So if that's a sign for things to come, she's going to have a fantastic future with the commission. So I very much appreciate the opportunity to work with her. With me today, I have Mr. Andrew Roud and Mr. Ken Finley, representatives of the applicant. I also have Ms. Rachel Leitzinger from Dewberry, and I believe virtually we have Mr. Mike Lenhart with Lenhart Traffic Consulting, Inc. I won't belabor it, but this application is a subdivision of an existing property that the applicant owns that's improved with an office building. We're looking to create another development parcel to help energize the office building portion of it by adding a building for daycare and a building for a quick serve restaurant, probably a coffee shop type restaurant. final tenant hasn't been determined. I will say that because of the prior zoning that we're utilizing for this, we will come back with a detailed site plan. So you'll see the details of those proposals hopefully in the near future. But with that, we do recommend, we are approval of the staff's recommendations, findings, and conditions. We do appreciate your consideration of this request, and our team is here to answer any questions that you may have. And before I finish up, I do want to publicly acknowledge Dr. Perrette, and she was such a wonderful person, such a pleasant, always had a smile on her face. She treated everybody with respect, particularly as a young attorney when I started. She would take the time to show me kind of the ropes. And if you could make her laugh, that was just such a wonderful thing. Remember, I was in a very long hearing, an early one for me, and I went through all the findings. I changed a lot of conditions, and I looked up in the gallery, and I said at the end, other than that, I completely agree with staff's recommendations. And she just broke out laughing. I don't know, it just made me feel better and let me know that I could find my way, particularly with her leadership. So she will be missed. I did appreciate the role she played in my career, and thank you for the opportunity to mention that. But with that, if you have any further questions or comments, we'd be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Very much so. Any questions for the applicant? No questions. There's no one else who signed up to speak on this. I'll close the public hearing. Turn to my colleagues for any deliberation or action.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the findings of staff and approve preliminary plan 4-24037 and TCP 1-006-2025, subject to the conditions as outlined in staff's report.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Washington, a second by Vice Chair Bailey. With no discussion, I'll call the roll. Commissioner
I
Washington.
vote aye.
Vice Chair Bailey.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye, and I appreciate the comments that were given about Fern Perrette. She was a wonderful person.
Thank you. Well said. I vote aye as well. The ayes have it 4-0. Thank you. Thank you all. Move on to item 6 in our agenda, preliminary plan of subdivision 4-24027 Ritchie Station Marketplace. This also is an evidentiary hearing. Mr. Horn will be representing the applicant, and Ms. Sun will be giving a staff presentation. We may have folks signed up to speak on this. We'll see when we get to that, but let's start with staff.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. For the record, I'm Monson with the Urban Design section, and I am presenting this case on behalf of the subdivision section. So item number 6 on the agenda is the preliminary plan of subdivision for Ritchie Station Marketplace, case number 4-24027, which proposes to subdivide existing parcel 40 into 6 parcels. 5 parcels will each contain 1 retail building, and 1 parcel will consist solely of the environmental features. This application is further subject to an approved certificate of adequacy under case number ADQ-2024-051. The property is currently improved with 190,563 square feet of commercial development as part of the existing Ritchie Station Marketplace Shopping Center. The shopping center is located on a larger 121.66 acre site and includes 848,387 square feet of existing and proposed shopping center uses. Parcel 40 is the subject of several prior approvals, which include a preliminary plan of subdivision and a detailed site plan with multiple amendments. All the buildings on the property have been approved and constructed pursuant to these prior development approvals. Can we go to slide 10, please? Yeah, this slide. And this slide shows the subject preliminary plan of subdivision, and it shows the proposed subdivision with 6 new parcels. All existing structures are proposed to remain, and no additional development or increase in square foot is proposed. The existing access and development are to be retained as well. So in conclusion, staff recommend that the planning board adopt the findings and approval of PPS 4-24027, which is Station Marketplace, and Type 1 Tree Conservation Plan, TCP1 100-04-04, subject to the conditions contained in this technical staff report. This concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lin. Questions for staff? No questions. We'll turn to the applicant, Mr. Horn. Want to introduce yourself for the record and your team as you see fit.
Mr. Chairman, morning to the planning board. For the record, Arthur Horn, for the law office of Shipley and Horn, here with my partner, Robert Antonetti, and our senior land planner, Mr. Andrew Shelley, representing here this morning, Ritchie Hill 2 LLC, represented virtually by Mr. Kevin Kennedy and Mr. Julian Curry. The civil engineering teams are from Atwell, Mr. Matthew Cinnamon, Mr. Paul Woodburn, Mr. Mike Novi, virtual, and also the traffic group represented by Mr. Mike Lenhart, who is also virtual. Mr. Chairman, I certainly want to thank Ms. Sun for her excellent presentation. This is a case where we're not asking for any development, just taking the 2 existing parcels and dividing them into 6. As she mentioned, this is, you all are very familiar with the Ritchie Station Marketplace. It's a 120-acre site inside the Beltway. It's proposed to have 1 million square feet of retail. And so far, we're around 800,000 or so and continuing. A lot of promising development is coming. Just recently, the Patient First opened and Greater Dayton Medical Facility is also located there as well. So it has a combination of a lot of things that will attract individuals to this site. It's doing well. With that, Mr. Chairman, I will say that we support the staff's recommendation, and I think there may have been one person who signed up. I will reserve any rest of the time just in case there isn't speak.
Thank you, Mr. Horn. Colleagues, any questions for the applicants?
Right.
Okay, so we'll turn to the speakers list. I believe we do have Ms. Queen who signed up to speak on this. President Queen, are you with us?
Yes, I am. How are you doing?
Good to hear your voice. So if you could introduce yourself formally for the record and...
To get us sworn in.
Right, I'm sorry, thank you. We need to swear you into, if you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. You are under oath, and take it away. We'll put, you're representing the organization that you usually do, so we'll put up to 5 minutes on the clock if you need that much time.
No, I don't need that much time. So, thank you guys for having this meeting and definitely sending the information out to the community so it gets to us. My reason for signing up to speak on this is because we knew nothing about it, even if it's just a partial change. No one has came to the coalition. And so when community members get this, I get massive emails. Do you see this going on? Did you know this? How come they didn't come out and let us know that they're going to make changes? And we don't know what's going on. And I say to you, Mr. Hornsby, it's so very important. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with the project, but we knew nothing about it. So yes, I'm here to speak to say, I mean, I didn't know whether I was going to be for it or against it, to be honest, because we knew nothing about it, to be honest. So I'm here to say this, that please reach out to us, because what's going to happen, community members will get these things in the mail, or they will get the emails and they be like, hey, do you see this going on? How come they haven't came out to us? What is going to happen here? What are they trying to do? And they want to know, and they have a right to know, because they live in a community. They want to know what's going on. They don't want to hear that Afro Park and Planning has made approval and we knew nothing about it. So I just wanted to add that and make sure that's part of the record.
Thank you, Ms. Queen. Well noted from our side too. I'm sure Mr. Horn will have a thought or two around that on rebuttal. Let me turn it over to you. Thank you, Ms. Queen.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we do send out notices to all the areas and community, including the Central Coalition. Again, we did not schedule a meeting in this particular case because this was just a subdivision of a property. It's not proposing even developing on the site and didn't change anything. And so, as a matter of fact, we originally thought it would be staff level and not have to appear before the board with this minor change. So I will accept, responsibility. We did send the notices out, but we did not send a, request for any kind of meeting. Because
Well, a
again,
phone
it's just
A phone call.
subdividing the property and stuff. I hear you, Ms. Moody, loud and clear.
Steve, I think you have your mea culpa. Mr. Horn, have a good track record for community outreach, but may have dropped the ball on this one a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but thank you, Mr. Horn. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We've known us who signed up to speak on this matter. If there's nothing else from staff or the applicant, then I'll close the public hearing. And colleagues, what's your pleasure on this item?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the findings of staff and approve preliminary plan 4-24027 and TCP 1-100-04-04, subject to the conditions as outlined in staff's report.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Washington, a second by Vice Chair Bailey. With no discussion, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Bailey.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Geraldo.
I vote aye.
I vote aye as well. The ayes have it 4-0. Thank you all. Next, we have item 7 on our agenda. This is detailed site plan DSP 24010 Melford Town Center, Block 4 and 6, evidentiary hearing. We have Mr. Antonetti representing the applicant, and Mr. Marhitz is going to be giving the staff presentation. I'm just dabbling and I'll just make sure I've got everything. This case was continued for May 1st. And let's start with staff, Mr. Marley.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Planning Board. For the record, I'm David Meyerholtz with the Urban Design Section. Item number 7 is detailed site plan DSP-24010, which requests approval of parking methodology and optional parking and playground regulations for future tenants within the existing flex buildings. No new development is proposed with this application. As a matter of housekeeping, as the chairman said, this case was continued from the May 1st, 2025 Planning Board meeting. Based on this evaluation and analysis, Urban Design staff recommend that the Planning Board adopt the findings of this report and approve detailed site plan DSP-24010, subject to the recommended conditions of approval within the technical staff report. This concludes staff's presentation, and I'm open to any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no questions for staff, we'll turn to the applicant. Might there be somebody from Shipley and Horn here by any chance?
Good morning, Chair Shapiro. Again, for the record, Robert Antonetti with the law firm of Shipley and Horn, here on behalf of the applicant, St. John Properties, Inc. With the applicant as well, we have Mr. Ken Finley and Mr. Andrew Roud and Rachel Leitzinger with Dewberry and Mr. Mike Lenhart virtually with Lenhart Traffic Consulting. I'd like to thank Mr. Meyerholtz for his review. This doesn't propose new development, as he stated. It does 3 things relative to the flex space at Melford, which is a large mixed-use project. One of the biggest employers in the county, the largest employer in the city of Bowie, and one of its largest building types is flex R&D space. And flex R&D space is typically a 1-story building with office in the front, space in the back for warehouse or manufacturing or really anything. It's, as the name implies, it's flexible. What that has led to, though, is under typical leasing situations that different users, a medical office, a church, a manufacturer come in, and we have to demonstrate that we meet minimum parking requirements using the parking schedule. However, and sometimes that causes complications, even though there's adequate parking because different uses park at different times. The MXT zone, which this was previously zoned in, allows for a shared parking analysis using the peak hours for these different uses. We're looking today, asking you to implement that methodology, that formula to allow us to utilize the shared parking calculations, which gives us the flexibility to park the flex space to meet the demand and to not prevent us from leasing to other tenants that otherwise would have difficulties meeting just the standard parking calculations and wouldn't even be necessary given the peak hour demand. With that, we also have a few other changes to the truck courts in the back, allowing some additional flexibility. We're not proposing any more square footage or additional surface. It's really just allowing for the appropriate, we believe, allocation of the existing parking spaces and loading spaces to meet tenant demand. So with that, our team is here to answer any questions that you may have. We do appreciate the ability to continue this case. It allowed us time to work with the staff to carefully understand how all these pieces fit together. And Mr. Meyerholtz and the staff did that seamlessly in the report. We support their recommendations of approval and their proposed conditions, and we are here to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you for your time today.
It sounds like a good compromise. Seems like a reasonable approach. Colleagues, any questions for the applicant? No questions. We have no one who has signed up to speak on this. Anyone else who signed up to speak? I will close this public hearing, evidentiary hearing, and turn to my colleagues for any deliberation and or action.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the findings of staff and approve ESP-24010, subject to the conditions outlined in staff's report.
Second.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Washington, a second by Commissioner Giraldo.
Yes.
Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the roll. Commissioner
I
Washington.
vote aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Bailey.
I vote aye.
I vote aye as well. The ayes have it 4-0. Want to thank everybody for their work today. And Mr. Potter, any further business for us, or Mr. Hunt? No.
No further business. Thank you.
I just needed to mess with him. He's on the phone. With that, without objection, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Everybody enjoy themselves.
And to stop talking.